I once heard about an old rule of comedy that to make a punchline funnier, add a word with a K in it. The same can be said for a hard C, but apparently it isn't as funny to quote the rule that way. To make sure I'd remembered it correctly, I looked it up online, and it's true. Well, it's true that the opinion exists out there. That doesn't mean the letter K is statistically funnier than other consonants, envious though they may be. Personally, I think the letter Q is hilarious, but then it does have a K sound when you say it. Another part of the online entry in which I read this was the opinion of Arthur Schopenhauer, who believed that humor is a, quote, product of one's expectations being violated. That's a very sobering thought at the moment. Do your expectations for this year feel violated right now? I know mine do, but it doesn't feel very funny. I heard it said in seminary that anytime you think you know what's going to happen, God laughs. And then I thought of the word fecund, and I laughed. Fecund is a difficult word to say without at least a giggle. The pronunciation feek-und is acceptable as well. The meaning is also pretty entertaining. Producing or capable of producing an abundance of offspring or new growth, fertile. In other words, fecund is the equivalent of manure, but not just manure, of course. Life. God's got jokes. Yet, I believe, should God exist, it's laughing with us, not at us. I believe it's a conspiratorial kind of laughter between dear friends who understand why humor is the best way to deal with suffering, which ultimately cannot be avoided, but with love can be more than endured, grown from. We stand on highly fertile soil right now. You might say it's heck-a-fecund. When facing an adversary of either literal or metaphoric terms, we only have two choices most of the time: run or stand. It's not to say that one is preferable to the other in any given circumstance. Sometimes running is the absolute best thing to do. Sometimes standing is the only choice we feel we have. There can be honor in both. These two broad categories of run and stand contain multiple layers of meaning, of course, but here they shall mean progress and stagnancy. So, how do we make the best use of this fecund experience? Do we run or do we stand? Do we live in the present or do we remain stuck in the past/future when things were/will be back to quote-unquote normal? Are you counting the days until the pandemic is over, or are you living in the present moment? Here's the irony. Living in the present is progress. Being here now is forward momentum. It's keeping up with the speed of the planet as it hurtles through the galaxy, not seeking to remain behind where things used to be, when the ground wasn't so busy moving beneath our feet all the time, or at least before we started to notice it. Some comfort might be had by trying to imagine the future benefit that will come from the present difficulty. Not necessarily imagining the true contours and details of it, just the idea of future benefit itself. Don't trouble yourself with attempting to determine the specifics of the best route from point A to point B. Just decide how you want to feel and be thankful for that future feeling right now. Imagine the lessons you will learn in the future occurring to you now, in the present. Attempt to speed up the learning process during this time by leaning into it and by assuming that those who choose now as the moment to empower themselves will be the best prepared for whatever future lies next. That's a lot to think about, I know. It's like being asked to harvest a garden before you've planted it. It's a challenge to learn now the things we will learn during our hardship before we've even finished having it. But that process can be advanced considerably by knowing we are undergoing a process and by reminding ourselves consistently and constantly that all shall be well. It's okay to begin planning the garden that will grow from this. It's also okay that plans may change in the meantime. Or that new things may yet become possible you hadn't yet considered before. They might not have even been possible before. Consider your options in the present moment of this current new normal, because the next normal isn't here yet, and the old one will not be coming back. We're already permanently changed, and that change becomes more pronounced every day as we co-suffer through this single human experience together. Make a point not to attempt to refit the square peg into a hole which is now rounded. It won't fit anymore, and forcing it to do so will only cause you injury. Better still to find out the best things that grow from this type of fecundity. That's where the future lies, and where we will be best able to realize it if we attend to this present moment with all of our attention on this fecund, shifty ground beneath our feet. You will get some on your shoes. Don't worry about it. It's all part of the process.
Be at ease now, and breathe. As you exhale throughout these next several breaths, increasingly place your past, including all of your history, all of your memories, everything you have learned and all those whom you've loved, into a small room and close the door. During these next several moments of silence, take the time to do this mental activity. If your mind wanders from it, first gently return your mind to the breath and then to the task at hand. You are not saying goodbye to these things. You are in fact protecting them. In your mind's eye, one at a time, allow various memories and people and places and images from your mind to enter into this room where they shall remain comfortably for the duration of our exercise. Do this now and breathe. Now, with your hand in front of you and your back to the door, step several feet away from it, where you will find a simple table and chair. The back of the chair materializes underneath your outstretched hand, and you pull it out and comfortably sit. You place your hands on the table and breathe. From the other side of the table, emerging as if from darkness into light, is a tall, slender figure who pulls out a chair you had not noticed and sits opposite from you. You feel at ease with them and breathe. They look at you with a loving gaze that literally feels like warmth. For a while they say nothing, until a wordless thought comes into your mind. It's a question. What would you like to know? You think you answer the question aloud, but are not sure. Will we be okay? You hear the answer. Yes. All shall be well. All shall be well. And all manner of thing shall be well. Your next question forms in your mind. What would you have me know? The answer comes. That all shall be well. And breathe. Breathe in relief. Exhale into goodness. Breathe in courage. Exhale into our evolution. Breathe in resolve. Exhale into fulfillment, into resolution, into peace. Allow the absurdity of the world to make you smile, even as you work toward changing it. There is laughter peppered in with this sorrow, and it will save you from it. Breathe in laughter. Exhale into ease. The entire time, the figure has sat across from you, gazing at you with benevolence, as if to empower the realization you are having, as if giving their energy and their love toward your ability to see before all others the goodness and blessings of this time. The door behind you opens. Out emerges all that you've known of yourself and your history. They were not ready to witness the change which has just occurred in you. They would have attempted to stop it, even in love. They would not have known what they do. Only you were brave enough to transform in this moment, and they will benefit from your transformation in ways they could have never predicted or believed. It's okay to see things differently now. It's okay to see the benevolence occurring. You will not be thought mad. They have now seen the tall, slender figure too. They are at ease. Breathe in fairness. Exhale into justice. Breathe in light. Exhale it into the darkness where it shall be no more. Breathe in good fortune. Exhale into resplendency. Namaste.